Imagine you're handed the keys to a Ferrari and you're told you can't drive it. Why would anyone build a car like that if they won't let someone take it for a spin? That's the exact feeling brewing in Cleveland right now. Shedeur Sanders, viral, charismatic, hyped, is officially QB2, but he's not getting the kind of first-team practice reps that most people assumed would come with that promotion. Head coach Kevin Stefanski was blunt about why. When a rookie is starting, the starter needs the bulk of the live reps, and that's Dillon Gabriel right now. Stefanski said as much publicly, adding that Sanders is still getting reps in a bunch of periods, but not the same first-team repetitions Gabriel has. Sportskeeda. Let's be honest, that sentence lands like a sharp elbow in a locker room. The optics are brutal. Cleveland traded Joe Flacco away and elevated Sanders on the depth chart, and fans immediately assumed the kid was next. Instead, the coaching staff has frozen him into a backup role where he warms up, posts viral sideline photos, and waits. That gap between expectation and practice room reality is what's fueling a perfect storm of social media outrage, radio hot takes, and the usual clutch of, "What are you doing, Browns?" headlines. Dogs by nature. Here's the football truth, stripped down. Quarterbacks get comfortable by repetition, by syncing cadence and timing with receivers, by living through live rushes in practice so late game pressure doesn't feel like a surprise. If you're running a young starter, you typically give him the first team reps to build rhythm. That's how Dillon Gabriel, the rookie who's currently starting, is being handled. The coach's logic isn't crazy in a vacuum. The starter needs those reps to improve week to week. But the context matters. And the context here is messy. ESPN.com. Now watch how friction grows. The Browns benched and then traded Flacco. That removed the veteran cushion. Suddenly, the backup spot is not just insurance. It's plausibly a launching pad into the job. Fans saw a clear domino. Flacco out, Shedeur up. Shedeur gets reps, Shedeur plays. But instead, the dominoes stopped. The front office moved pieces. The coach decided to protect the starter's preparation, and Shedeur's followers, loud, young, and convinced, exploded on social. It's not just football anymore. It's a narrative problem. Dogs by nature. Let me put on a coach hat for a minute and give you the defensive case. If Gabriel is the starter, and if you believe the quickest path to wins is to give him maximum reps, then you follow the conservative, time-tested route. The Browns are 2-5 and in a tight spot. Survive the season, avoid total organizational destabilization, and evaluate in January. From that angle, keeping the practice plan focused on Gabriel is a rational short-term risk management move. The coach's job is to maximize the probabilities of winning the next game, not to satisfy social media or build highlight reels for a rookie. ESPN.com, but here's why that defense stings. Development isn't just about the starter. A backup, especially one with Shedeur's profile, needs live work to actually be emergency ready. Keeping him in rep purgatory does two things. It delays his growth and amplifies the public pressure. If the Browns ever need him, they'd prefer him to be practiced up, comfortable, and confident. Instead, the team has engineered a situation where the kid's narrative grows faster than his reps, and that mismatch breeds skepticism about organizational competence. Yahoo Theithau. The human side is where this gets painful. Players notice who gets reps, teammates notice who gets trust, and the locker room senses when decisions are tuned for optics versus outcomes. Shedeur's message discipline has been pretty solid. He's stayed positive and public about being patient, but patience has a shelf life. When a player with a blazing social presence sits on the sideline while the tape suggests he might help, the heat grows. Radio show hosts and pundits pile on, and suddenly you're answering questions about development decisions instead of fixing protection schemes and route timing. Newsweek. Let's talk practical fixes. Real, non-clickbait stuff the Browns could do tomorrow to quiet the noise while still protecting Gabriel's reps. Carve out scheduled first-team snaps for Shedeur in practice each week. Not every rep, but predictable, meaningful periods where he throws live to the top receivers, so timing improves. Transparency reduces speculation. Install short, controlled live packages in a game plan. Low-risk sequences in the second half where the team can let him go 5 to 8 plays without blowing the plan. Think of it like a developmental script, not a stunt. Use preseason-style reps in the actual season. Run a separate live scout team rep block that simulates first-team pressure so both QBs get higher-quality work-specific reps. Communicate clearly to the public. An honest timeline, even a cautious one, is better than radio silence. Fans crave a plan, not excuses. If the Browns do none of that, they get louder phone calls, cries for trades, and possibly a damaged rookie who never got the chance to compete on equal footing. If they do those things, they preserve the starter's rhythm while building a true contingency. It's a small, surgical set of moves, but it requires ownership to execute. Sportskeeda now for the spicy twist. Sometimes the pundit class forgets that coaching is a long-game job. A coach has to decide the outcome he deems most likely to win games now. If Stefanski believes Gabriel gives the Browns the better shot this Sunday, he's doing his job by protecting Gabriel's reps. But those same short-term correct choices can be catastrophic if they delay the development of a potential franchise QB. That's the tightrope. Prioritize the immediate push or invest in the future. You can't fully do both without paying a price. ESPN.com. So what should you, the viewer, take away? 2 things. First, the rep order is not a smoking gun of incompetence. It's a decision. Second, context matters. The Browns traded the veteran, created expectations, and then did not follow the obvious public script. That mismatch created the chaos. The fix is not a single snap in a preseason game. It's a transparent, repeatable development plan that respects both the starter and the future. End on this. Cleveland has a choice. Give Shedeur the work he needs or stop pretending he's the answer. The Browns can either build him into an asset or let his talent light up someone else's scoreboard. Either way, don't call it development if you aren't actually developing him. That's where credibility dies, and right now the Browns can't afford any more credibility drains. Yahoo Thethau, keep it tight, keep it real, and watch Friday's practice report. The quiet details will tell you everything the press conferences won't. You want Shedeur Sanders on the field. So do half the internet, the local talk radio hosts, and probably a chunk of the Browns front office. Problem is, the team's coach wants something else, and he's not shy about saying it out loud. Kevin Stefanski's line is brutally simple. When a rookie is starting, you give the starter the reps. That's not spin. It's coaching math. If Dillon Gabriel is the guy calling plays on Sunday, Gabriel needs the first team snaps during practice to build timing, cadence, protection reads, and chemistry with the offense. Those live reps are where the game is really taught. You can't teach a starter how to start by running the scout team. That logic sounds reasonable in a coach's playbook. It looks terrible on social media. It looks even worse when you remember how we got here. Joe Flacco was the veteran starter, got benched, then traded. Dillon Gabriel got the job. Shedeur Sanders moved up a slot on the depth chart, on paper. In practice, the rookie who was promoted is still not getting the same first-team work that Gabriel got when Flacco was in town. And of course, people noticed. Let's be concrete about why the pressure is loud. Gabriel's numbers through his early starts aren't inspiring. Roughly 546 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, a completion rate under 60%. Most of his attempts live inside 9 yards. Almost 67% of throws are safe throws. His average depth of target is 6.1 yards, and yards per attempt hover around 5.1. Translation: the passing game is tiny, conservative, predictable, and the turn